as the compound bronze medal match for the men are about to unfold here in Las Vegas.
12 World Archery Indoor Championships here in Las Vegas.
And the archers arriving on the scene, and it will be France facing Mexico. Guillaume Rubben for France, the gentleman, tall gentleman on the right side of your screen. And Julio Ricardo Fierro of Mexico. Rubben surprised Dietmar Trillis in the quarterfinals, winning 6-4, and then Rubben lost with a count of 6-4 to Jimmy Butts of the United States. So Guillaume Rubben of France will be facing Ricardo Fierro of Mexico, who survived a close semifinal match against the Frenchman Sébastien Penaud, winning 6-5. That went to a shoot-off, but they scored nines, and Fierro's 9 was a little bit better. He then lost the shoot-off in the semis to Rio Wild, who won the match 6-5. We'll see Rio in just a few moments. So France versus Mexico, Guillaume Rubben against Julio Ricardo Fierro. How familiar are you with these two gentlemen?
The names are not terribly familiar to me, but what I was just thinking was, considering the number of shoot-offs you've been telling us about, it's surprising we haven't had more in these finals.
Tells you how tough it is just to get to these finals.
Indeed. Dietmar Trillis, who,
yes,
I believe Ricardo.
Actually, it was Rubben. Rubben defeated Dietmar Trillis. Yeah.
So they both earned their way to this match.
10-liner, it's in.
Defeating Dietmar Trillis, a real feather in the cap for Guillaume Rubben of France. And both archers with a 10 on their first shot. And another 10.
Very good 10s. Look at both of those arrows. They're inside out. They're not touching the 10 ring at all.
Rubben shot well in the team competition earlier today.
9.
A big 9.
Allez, ça construit bien, ça sac et ça prolonge.
So will it be 3 bullseyes to start off the match for Guillaume Rubben?
9.
Petit peu plus précipité celle-là.
And an opportunity after that 9, yes, for Fierro to split the points. But he's got to shoot a 10 right here.
Just
All 3 arrows, a little bit low, a little bit left.
Je pense pas que sa première avis soit, mais je sais pas. Allez, derrière non plus.
So Julio Ricardo Fierro of Mexico getting a feel for the setting here in Las Vegas at the South Point Hotel. And Guillaume Rubben taking the first set and picking up the first 2 set points to grab a 2-0 lead. Again, that guarantees absolutely nothing.
Guarantees that you get to the next set.
With the lead.
Yes.
But in terms of guaranteeing the victory, no.
Not at all.
There's much work to be done as you take a look at Fierro, who was ranked as high as 21st in the world last summer. Came into the indoor championships here in Vegas ranked 22nd amongst all the compound archers. Just 22 years old. And has only really been competing internationally since 2009. Been out there for about 3 years. But here he is in the finals.
Well, you get a lot of experience in 3 years. Especially if you've come from a good, solid background. Mexico's compound program is very solid. They've produced a lot of really good shooters. So to have made it onto the Mexican team and to have been able to compete for 3 years, that means he's been pretty good. And the same thing with Mr. Rubben from France. The French team has a lot of really solid shooters, including Dominic Genet, among others. So the fact that he's on the French national team out here competing, it says a lot to me how good these archers are.
Trailing 2-0 in the match.
Still low left.
Fierro.
9.
Fierro firing 9s.
And there he goes to move his sight a little bit. That's good.
He started the match with a 10, but has shot 3 straight 9s, and now there's a 9 for Rubben.
I hope we get to see that angle again, because that's a really unconventional way to shoot to have success. It's a pretty dramatic shot.
There's a 10 for Fierro.
Yep. Good sight correction. So he's got his finger way away from the trigger, and you should just see him hammer through it when he thinks he's ready. He just goes bam.
10.
Way
Ça,
close,
c'est
but
aller
he gets
chercher.
10s.
Toutes comme ça. Là, c'est bien. C'est la flèche qu'il fallait
So
faire.
we're
Elle est
tied at
importante, celle-là.
19 here in the second set.
A lot of people think that squeezing the trigger is the way to go, like you'd shoot with a rifle or a sniper rifle.
10.
Allez, c'est grand.
You
et
like
ça
to see him
ouvre
snap
le
it off, huh?
visage.
No, I'm actually not a fan of how Mr. Rubben's been doing it, but it seems to work for him.
9.
Except
of the
on that
time.
shot. Yeah.
Takes the set, and the
So back
match
and
is
forth
in
now.
draw.
Yep.
So just like that, after taking the lead 2-0, Fierro comes back and rebounds and wins the second set. We're tied at 2 apiece after the first 2 sets. As Rubben waits for them to retrieve his arrows, a 34-year-old Frenchman is currently ranked 185th in the world. And while those rankings do matter, it just shows you that you can put together a good week and get to the finals and
Absolutely.
see what happens.
And that's the thing, especially with indoors, I think that almost anybody can put together a fairly decent run just for a few sets, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're in way better than you've ever done before.
I think it's safe to say that this is the biggest match that Guillaume Rubben has ever participated in. Could be a Cinderella story here,
Allez, bien
as you
fort
see
sur la
him straddle
construction.
that start line.
C'est là que c'est fort. Ça maintient en sac en dedans.
A little bit of an open
Et
stance
ça
there
va
with
la
that left
chercher
foot,
jusqu'au
A little
bout,
bit,
celle-là.
yep.
Voilà.
but it
Elle est
works.
bien tirée.
It
Nickel.
really is pretty unconventional. I don't think you'll see a lot of people imitating his form. He's got a pretty high front shoulder, a little bit of an open stance. Looks like his shoulder's rolled in a little bit, and I still think he's punching his release a little bit. But
10.
it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it the same.
Allez, on sac.
This is how he does it.
On reste sur la cible jusqu'au bout.
Bájale otros clics.
Allez.
10-9 liner.
Ok.
And here he is in the bronze medal match at the World Championships, so who am I to criticize?
And his first 2 shots
Allez, on va les chercher. Hein.
could be 9s, could be 10s, asterisks by them. Now they change the 1 to a 10.
9.
That's just out.
Allez, Guillaume, c'est là que
Very
c'est grand.
close, but not
Ça
quite
arme
in
fort, ça
for a
sac.
10.
Sigues abajo.
So
Vamos.
Rubben may have a
Le
slight
regarde
lead,
jusqu'au bout, jusqu'au bout.
or they may be tied.
9.
That's definitely out.
Bien tiré. C'est bien tiré.
So Fierro needs to shoot a
Échala
10
bonito,
to
Julio,
guarantee a
vamos.
split,
Elle est pas loin.
and he may actually win the set
Un
with a
petit peu au
10.
gauche.
10.
There's a good 10 on demand.
We'll see what happens.
Right
to
down the barrel
judges'
that
scores.
time
Mr. Rubben's
For Julio
second arrow.
Ricardo Fierro of Mexico.
Which gives them a 4-2 lead in the short term. We'll have to see how that falls out.
Ouais, je me décale. Et la dernière, elle est bien tirée.
And once again, there will be close inspection of these arrows at the target. A lot riding on this as they inspect
If the arrow scores
and
in,
measure
this will be another
and look
draw
at it
for
from
the
all
set.
different angles.
And we'll be at 3-3 for the match.
And all Rubben can do is calmly look on from 18 meters away.
If not, and there it is,
C'est toi
it
qui
is in.
redémarre.
It
So
is
we
in
do have a draw.
apparently,
Tira el otro.
and so
3-3, and we go
All
back
right,
to the
so
original
we got
shooting
that
order.
9 asterisk to be a 10.
C'est pénible avec les flèches.
And at least 2 more sets in this bronze medal
Vamos,
fight.
Julio,
so the judges have spoken.
And they have to go to the full 5 sets.
Allez, bien solide, hein, quand tu arrives au pas de tir, tu te poses, c'est grand et c'est fort. Hein. C'est à partir de là que ça se joue. Allez, Guillaume.
So Guillaume
Vamos,
Rubben,
Vamos, fuerte.
who, as we said a moment ago, came into Las Vegas
Allez, ça
ranked
construit bien.
185th
Ça sac.
in the world, but finds
Et après, c'est le
himself
mental. Hein.
in the men's compound bronze medal match, vying for some hardware to take home.
That is a 9.
He's very much enjoying that high left
Les deux
9
cliquots,
there.
I
c'était
was
un
going
peu
to
au-dessus
say,
tout à l'heure.
yes, he's eating that up, isn't he?
Wouldn't be surprised if they changed the target face for the next set. There's a 10 low left.
Allez,
Same hole
Guillaume.
for the last
Grand
3
et
shots
fort.
on that same
On
target.
construit
Yes,
et on vient
yes,
bien
yes.
chercher.
Too close to call.
Ça prolonge, ça prolonge, ça
So
prolonge.
both of them may get new target faces for the next set.
We're tied up at 3 set points apiece.
Another
9.
9.
Vamos,
Doute
Julio.
ton
Vamos,
corps, hein,
Looks
Julio.
like Fierro has a great opportunity to take
Maintiens-toi
this
grand.
set.
He may already have a little
Là,
bit
tu
of an
te laisses
advantage.
riche parce que tu te laisses un petit peu refermer.
That first 9 with an asterisk.
Eso.
There's a good 10.
Allez,
No
Guillaume.
asterisk needed.
Not at all.
Bien, muy bien, Sam.
And he seems to be settling down, becoming more comfortable, confidence growing. As Rubben eyes the target.
Ooh.
Oh, been a little bit of a bobble there.
Just out. It's a 9.
Cost him, you
Allez.
think?
I think so. I think his form won't hold up quite as well under pressure as Fierro's does. There's too many little quirks to it.
Là, tu subis un peu,
And
du coup, ça se referme,
so
ça bouge.
that little twitch you saw, he tried to do his typical
Là, il
punch
faut pas de
of
tir
the
avec
release.
Lagnac et,
So that's a guarantee for Fierro.
No matter what they say on that first shot, he wins this.
So he's up 5-3. But that little twitch you saw, that was what I would say him is Rubben punching the release, and he just didn't punch it hard enough for it to actually let go.
He wanted it to.
He did. He thought he was ready, but it didn't quite go. So
Didn't
give
quite
him another
release.
crack.
So a 5-3 advantage for the Mexican archer, Julio Ricardo Fierro, who won a gold medal on his own at the 2010 Pan Am Championships. Also took a bronze medal with Mexico's men's team in Shanghai last fall. And
Comme la première de tout à l'heure, ça arrive en conquérant au pas de tir.
all Rubben can do right now is put everything behind him, focus on what's ahead, and hope for the best.
Yep, Rubben needs a straight-up win for this set in order to extend the match to the shootout.
And continue on. As Hugh McDonald said, and try to get to that shoot-off and then hope for the best there.
Absolutely.
A little bit of a crapshoot.
A little bit. Still, most of the time, the better shooter wins.
Allez, Guillaume.
It's just
La tête, un bon bleu de torse,
it's
la
the
tête
same
en
amount
haut.
of pressure, just
Allez,
takes it to the
là,
next
c'est un
level.
conquérant, Guillaume.
Tira él,
No cushion
This
for error.
is match point for Mr.
Guillaume
Fierro.
gets a fist bump from his coach for confidence.
Allez, c'est là que c'est solide. Allez, ça sac. Et ça me prolonge ça. Ouais.
Fierro's
Same
at
spot.
9.
Same hole. I think he's got
Same
a 10
hole.
out of that one, though.
C'était bien tiré. Dans
They
l'esprit,
didn't
c'était
change
bien
that
tiré.
target face. I'm a
Baisse
little
pas
surprised.
pavillon, il y a encore deux flèches. Hein.
Here's the trigger.
9.
Ooh, that's a
Allez,
solid
Guillaume.
9.
Fierro pulls it
Allez,
for a
Guillaume.
9.
Vamos, Julio, sale.
Voilà, ça construit, ça
Pasa
So
sac.
they've called that
Vamos,
first
Guillaume.
arrow of Rubben's at 9.
9. So we're tied.
10.
There's a
Good
good
set.
set.
Allez, Guillaume. La prochaine, la même. Elle était nickel.
Rubben moving so slightly ahead,
Fuerte,
trying to stay alive,
On
fighting for his life
pacifique
right
pas,
now.
fuerte izquierdo, fuerte.
And Fierro trying to end the match.
10.
Bien, bien, Julio, bien, Julio.
Allez, Guillaume.
All Fierro needs to do is have a tie to win the match.
Allez, ça prolonge, ça
So
prolonge.
Rubben, all he can do is shoot a 10. There it is. Now he's
Les
got
deux
to
dernières
hope
sont lesquelles, même la première,
that
elle était bien
Fierro
tirée.
shoots a 9.
Out of his hands at this point.
Fuerte
Yep, he's
izquierdo
done
y
all he
externo.
can. They're pretty confident on that
Mucho
top
tiempo.
9, so I'll have to go with him. But
Fierro goes for the kill and gets it.
Mexico.
that should be the bronze medal to Mexico.
So there's the second medal we've seen in this session going to Mexico. Ochoa winning a gold, and now Fierro
Patience.
capturing the bronze.
6-4 victory.
La dernière,
For the
peut-être
bronze.
So it has been a good afternoon and evening for the team from Mexico,
Our next
as
match.
Julio Ricardo Fierro, 22 years old,
Championship of the world.
and only been competing for 3 years here on the world stage. And there
Champions
is
of the world. From the
Guillaume
USA.
Rubben, who came in somewhat of a Cinderella story, reaching these finals. And the clock just struck midnight.
Yeah, I hope he's happy with fourth. It's a good result for sure. The problem is you don't get a souvenir and nobody remembers who came fourth.
On pourrait faire les choses autrement.
But a great experience for the French archer,
I would say so.
who falls 6-4 in 5 sets, extended it out to 5 sets, and made Julio Ricardo Fierro work for that bronze medal.